The gentleman from Pennsylvania, the vice chairman of this subcommittee, Mr. Rothfus.
I thank the chairman for the yielding, and I want to thank him for having this hearing today. Getting our Bank Secrecy Act and anti-money laundering policies right is a very important issue for me and my district. In fact, it's a life or death issue. Just a few days ago, we marked the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. It was a time to reflect on the drug epidemic that has destroyed so many lives and continues to ravage our hometowns. It was also an opportunity to take stock of how our current policy framework fails to achieve its objectives. This committee's efforts to interrupt the finances of the transnational criminal organizations and gangs that pump the heroin and fentanyl poison into our communities can ultimately save lives. If we can cut off the flow of cash, we can greatly hinder the ability of these groups to do us harm. I'm looking forward to hearing from stakeholders today how we can create a more potent BSA-AML regime that makes the best use of scarce public and private sector resources. It is clear to me that our existing framework puts heavy burdens on financial institutions and appears to emphasize compliance with rigid standards over efficacy. We need to be looking at how technology, innovation, and greater cooperation can be employed to yield better results in this fight. President Trump wrote in his letter marking the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, quote, "We will not stand idle as our families are devastated, our communities are hollowed out, and our nation's future is diminished." I could not agree more with that sentiment, and the work that we're doing here today is an example of Congress taking action to bolster our defenses against illicit financing and to bring down the criminals who cause so much pain in communities across this country. We have a moral obligation to achieve these ends. I thank the chairman, and I yield back.
Jim yields back.